Hey everyone, thank you for joining me today. I'm Michelle and I am working on a layout for the May limited edition My Creative Scrapbook kit. And the kit is full of this lovely Prima paper and as well as other goodies. The group is Serene Petals. And it's just gorgeous. And I do have an unboxing video out there, and I know there's other team members who also have a unboxing video. So, grab some coffee and check out the kit. It is gorgeous. And so what I thought I would do on this layout, I saw on Pinterest a few days ago a layout where it was, the paper was kind of off center and with a bit of white space. And so I thought I might do something like that. Now, which direction I'm going to do it from and which paper, I have not decided yet, but I'm going to give it a shot to see what I come up with. I do like this one because you can have all these flowers as part of the cluster. So this one's definitely a possibility, but I'm not locking myself in yet. So my pictures, I pulled out a couple. One is of my girlfriend and I at a show. We went and saw Crime Junkies, and I'll just have to cover that Coca-Cola sign, but I'm pretty sure I can figure that out. And then I have this one, and the colors for this one actually go really well with this paper. So this might be the winner. I have some girlfriends and I, this was last weekend at a crop in LaConner. And yeah, so that is kind of my plan. I have the stencil from the kit I might use. I have a couple masks that I don't think I've ever used, and so pulled those out. And then finally, you'll probably see this on some of my future layouts. I thought I would show you now, as this is the first one that is going to be on my my channel. I pulled out a bunch of dies, circles, tickets, tabs, and some different sizes of tags. And I am going to use those like for the cut aparts. And so some of the cut aparts are going to be just fine as they are, but some of them, I think this is a good example. I think I can like cut a tag shape out of here or out of here and get a lot of bang for my buck without having to snip, snip, snip around all of these. So some of these, like this one, I probably will just fussy cut. But there's, obviously some circles in here that I can find a circle die cut and just cut that way. And then others that I can use as a tag or as, this one's probably pretty obviously a tag, but you see where I'm getting. And so when I get started here, I will have my pile of pieces that I have created and able to use as embellishments. So stay tuned. All right, so here are some of the images that I came up with to make into tags, tickets, etc. And so, and you'll notice like some of them, might have a corner out of it. And those I figure I can cover up in some manner. So there's all my tags. I think they came out really cute. And then I also have tickets, little round images. And again, not quite. I can either cut this out again in a smaller, with a smaller die, or those might be places where I cover it up with other things. So yeah, I'm really happy with how those all came out. My little bees, because nobody wants to cut out a bee. And so I also still have quite a bit that I can potentially fussy cut without too much struggle. And so I have all these, but I'm just going to cut them as I use them. And I do have some hearts. I mean, I could see if I have a die cut, but sometimes hearts can be a little bit different as far as their shape and such. So I thought it's probably just as easy to cut those out. So that's where I'm at. And let's go ahead and start the actual layout. So here we go, and y'all are probably thinking it is about time, now that we're 5 minutes into this video. But I have cut my paper. I did decide to go with the one with the floral on the right there, and I am backing it with just the back of it had like a silver platinum type of color, and so I use that along the edge, you'll see. I did want to do some mixed media. I kind of wanted it to feel like it was falling off of that tipped corner. And so I am using that mask that I showed you. And I'm glad I used this mask because it does help, kind of create that mixed media look when it comes off. But you can't really tell what the image was. And so I don't know if I used maybe too much water but I like the results, don't get me wrong. And so I use a couple shimmers paints. One is an Inkling Sheer Bliss, and then the other one is Chance of Rain, which is let me grab it here, a spritz. And so I do this, I think probably 2 or 3 layers, going back and forth with my water pen and just adding in places here and there, adding some water to loosen it up in places that feel like it is maybe a little dense in color. I really like these two colors together. As far as a light and a dark, if you're just going to pick 2 colors, I think they go together really well. And I'm going to blot it up here and there. At times, I'm going to take my paper towel roll, and I'm going to also add some splatters at times. And let it dry for a bit. So there are some harder lines, and then softening up those hard lines with the splatters. So, all right, so I have finished that portion. I want to add a bit of stamping, so I'm just going to use this Tim Holtz stamp. The verbiage stamps are usually easy and work with just about anything. And then I'm going to take my Distress Ink Weathered Wood, as well as some of that Chance of Rain to ink this butterfly stamp. This is also a Tim Holtz stamp, and layer those down in a couple of places. And I just had to keep going. And I wanted to use the stencil that came in the kit, and so I used the rose, I think is it rose gold, Vicky Bouton, one of her glazes. And I really like that wood grain, and does make it easy to do like a small section when it's kind of a long and narrow stencil like that. And then I come back through again with a dot stamp with some white. And so now I'm done. I'm done playing. And oh, no, I'm not, because I'm also going to add some white paint just to soften up the pattern a little bit, because it is a pretty strong pattern. And off camera, I do sand this down just a little bit as well. So you'll see in the close up, it almost has kind of like a old wallpaper type of look to it, which I really like. So, okay, so here is my picture of myself and my girlfriends, and we are at Le Connor at a club. And so I had a couple different thoughts on this. I decided on how to orient this photo, because you'll see the horizon is going in a different direction, but I really thought, because of the angle of the paper, I just wanted this picture to be straight on, and so that's what I did. And then that cluster I just built up at the top left, I had a couple of rings that I cut out with that pink brick paper, And then I did the same with a green one just to create a little height for my flowers to sit on. Added a flower tag. I had some chicken wire white that I cut out with a die that I have in my stash. And then I'm going to use the lavender and the peach flower down below by our photo. And I take a couple different words. I'm trying to decide what I like. And I end up um, using my label maker. You'll see those words show up here shortly. I got some black tape for my label maker, black with white print, and I wanted to see how that worked on a layout. And so you'll see those words come into play here shortly. Going to add a lot of the lovely flowers that come in the embellishment kit. I add, as well as a butterfly, a couple butterflies. I also use the leaves that come in the Prima flower kit that comes with the limited edition kit. And there are the two words I made, friends up above and be present down below. And what else am I doing? I add kind of a notebook looking embellishment because I kind of wanted to break up the florals a little bit. I also, at some point, oh, I did it right there. I cut out a green circle uh, out of one of the papers that came in the kit just to create a little uh, solid color between the paper and the floral embellishments. I'm adding a couple butterflies and I am looking for a home for that second one. It's going to go up above the embellishment cluster with the photo. And in this one, you'll see when it lands, because it's going to move from there, it's going to go up above. And I end up having it like flying in the same direction as the yellow one and on the same plane, the horizontal plane. And so before I take my close ups, I do change the direction of it and lift it up a little bit just so it's on a different level. And so it is flying in a different direction. So I have my title down below, Smile, and I just cut that with a die that I have in my stash. And I'm getting pretty close to the end. So thank you for joining me, everyone. I hope you enjoy this month's kit. It is lovely. And thank you for all your support. Any likes and subscribes, I so appreciate, as well as kind words. And have a great day. The link to the kit will be in the description. Thank you, everyone.